Okay, so now that we're all caught up, finally back on this job. This is kind of what it looks like now. It has been drying out for months and months now, so it should burn pretty good. I am just gonna, I was hoping I was gonna be out of the field a little bit more, but I just don't have any room because that's the neighbor's property over there, and y'all can see it ain't nothing but old sage grass. So I'll probably end up catching that field on fire, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna start my first fire right here, and then as I pile it on, I'll be able to get back over in there and just walk straight down the line there. Of course, I still got some bigger trees standing. I've got a lot more bigger trees standing than I remember, so kind of dread that. I was hoping not to run the chainsaw today, but I may have to. But really what I want to do is get me 2 good fires going, that way I can come back tomorrow and really rock and roll. So I'll get me a fire going right here. Once that's going good, I'll probably track way down there towards the end, that way I can work myself back this way and start another fire. So let me shut my mouth and let's get to work. All right, y'all, I got my fire going there. It didn't take about 30 seconds for that thing to start catching on. I knew this stuff right here was gonna burn. I should have just threw me a hay bale up in this pile. She'll work its way on through there. Just let it get right there. I think the wind's blowing. I hope the wind's blowing out towards the left right there, which it looks like it's going to. So tell y'all what, I got used to that 306 and the way that thumb operated, and it was opposite from this one. So now I got to get back used to this one. I knew that was going to happen. Just like that, I about to set my leaf blower on fire. Rope. Alright, I kind of figured that right there is going to happen. So I'm just going to let that kind of burn out into the edge of the field, so I don't have to worry about it when I ain't here. I'm really just worried about that field on the other side of me, but I don't want to move it out into the field I'm sitting in because it's this guy's good hay pasture. I guess it really matters right now, but it'll take me a minute to get back used to this machine. So I've had a change of plans here. What I'm going to do, since this stuff is so dry, I'm going to make me several piles down through here. That way I'm not tracking so much, and then I'm going to get me I'm going to go get me a burner blower. I can't think of the name of it. I used to have 2 of them and I keep losing them. And I'm going to see if I can just set this stuff on fire without having to track back and forth so much, and do it that way. I know I usually like to take stuff down and burn it immediately, and I don't like to set fires in big huge piles because they just don't burn that great to me. Well, because I never have time to let things sit and dry out, you know, kind of like Let's Dig does, and I go. But since this stuff is so dry, I think I can just set it on fire and it'll catch up and go on pretty good. That's if it don't rain on it, but it should be alright. We'll try that. If it don't work, then I'll just have me some piles and I can just move on down the line. Or I'll just go get me some more hay bales. Hay bales are pretty cheap. I can get them for like $5 a piece. So, because it is just going to be too much hassle to track through this swampy stuff. Try not to ruin this man's field. Like that stuff right there, I should be able to put a torch blower on that right there and she'll burn. The only thing I kind of worry about is like the logs like that, but y'all can see how dry out it is, how easy that even that big stuff is breaking. I may have several piles down through here to do like that. I guess it'll be okay. Y'all can see I'm sitting in a low spot, and right here is the old ditch line. I'm sure that old ditch line is probably a foot higher than the other low spot, so it's basically got two ditches running down through here. And where the trees were pretty much, the big trees were growing, was right in between them, so it's not a really good. And what I've been doing is basically pulling this dirt back. This morning, and I had to do it the old-fashioned way with the old 5-gallon diesel jugs. Oh me! What I'll do is I'll come down here and I'll make another pile. But all these trees right here has got to go too. This makes it hard with that stupid fence line over there. I can't just knock them down anywhere. tempted to change my controls again, but no, it'll come to me. Plan was to get all this stuff going and then bring the dozer down here and shape this ditch up, but honestly, as wet it is, that ain't gonna happen. What I may do is I have my smooth bucket on the truck. I may just use it to cut the new ditch in and just slick it out. I mean, it ain't really gonna matter. Time the grass starts growing again, it'll be smoothed out from the rain anyway. Y'all can just see the water standing right there. Just don't have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Gosh. Then again, it was dry as a bone when I was first over here. Alright, we'll pull this ditch line back and move on down the line. Okay, as y'all can see, my windshield is absolutely terrible. But I have made it a good ways down through here. I think this plan's going to work out pretty good. This stuff down here wasn't near as big when I first started in the field, so I should be able to move it pretty easily. Looks like it's actually a little bit drier up under it, so maybe it won't be that bad. This stuff right here should burn really quick. Cut in here, and then I can go back that way and bring it to this part and then do the same, and that way I'll have one really big pile covering a bigger area. Like the rest of it, but I'm trying to remember if the dirt was a little bit sandier down here, it may be able to soak in the ground a little more. I know that up there there's a lot of clay bottom, so water really don't soak in the ground any. It sits on top of it. be a problem. Be just too hard to really fix once I get everything out of the way. Sorry about the windshield. I have to deal with it right now. I don't know how I'm going to be able to wash it off. I don't have any paper towels with me. Last log right here. Let's move on the other side and do the same thing. I'll probably have one more pile down there. Pretty decent tree right there. Well, I don't know if this stuff ain't too bad to move. I may just put it all on this pile. Sweet gum right there. plan, and then plan changes about 15 times. So. Down through there, it's gonna be about too far to really track it back and forth. What I've been doing is just taking this right here and pulling it back to me. And I'll use this dirt to build up right up to the edge of the field. That way the field will just sheet drain all the way over to that ditch. That's what I've been doing down through there, and that should help that start to dry out and actually give the water somewhere to go. Probably get one more grapple full or bucket full. Take her to that pile. Let's get a big old heaping scoop. Worth our trip. There we go. Actually somewhat dry, and that I was dealing with back yonder ain't nothing but soup. If it was like this, yeah, it'd be worth bringing a dozer over here. I could root rake this out and sure enough get me enough dirt. Dirt too in place, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to get one more pile right here. If I had time, I'd take some of that other hay bale I got and just start a fire in these. I ain't gonna have time to really watch them it, y'all. Breaks my heart. So the hard part about this right now, of course, the fire or the stuff on the ground is going to burn up really nice. But the bad thing is the way this ditch was in here, and the reason why I'm clearing this is it's just holding so much water that the water could never even make it to the ditch because of the trees. So basically where all the debris is sitting ain't nothing but a swamp. I expected it to be wet, but not this wet, because we have had a pretty dry winter compared to most. So I'm just gonna leave that in the ground. I'm trying to manage my mud. Trying to fix it to where the water will drain over to the ditch now, but I really need to cut the ditch, recut a ditch, but I can't do that with all the stuff in the way, so it's kind of a touch and go situation right now. See, I ain't gonna be able to sit on that. I had that big tree in my way too that was, I probably could have picked a better spot to start the fire, but if I could just get this to start drying out. It's supposed to be kind of warm the next 2 days, but then rain later next week. So see, the ditch is actually higher than this point right here, so this will actually be the new ditch once I get it all cleared, but I really can't do nothing with it until I get it cleared. So it's going to be a mess. I knew this was going to happen. Whenever I was first over here clearing, y'all can see in the first video, it was dry as a bone. I mean, just a powder house. Now it is a soupy wet mess. Only thing making it kind of hard is the way I've got my piles laying. If I sit on the edge of the field, they're kind of laying long ways to me, so it's kind of hard to grab them. If I could get over in here, then I could just pick them straight up. But that ain't gonna happen, so it's a really solid ground bottom. I mean, this ain't nothing but a few inches of topsoil that's staying wet. Really, the ground is pretty solid. I'm not really worried about it sinking the excavator. I really need probably about 4 fires going. I was gonna bring my dump truck over here, but I just don't feel like it's worth it, especially since I really can't do nothing else over here. I really got to get this machine home. I've got stuff I've got to do at my home place. Trying to clean it off. I'm gonna throw on the fire and I'm gonna let her do it get on the other side of the fire now. The wind has kind of shifted on me. Blow right back on top of me. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Well, all right, guys and gals, I am going to call it a day on that one. Show y'all kind of what I got done out here. I'll try to remember to bring something to wipe my windshield off tomorrow. But there's the fire going. I just kind of restacked it and put that leaf blower back on it. Still got quite a bit up yonder to pile up, and y'all can see my piles down through there, so those should burn up really nice. Still got several trees standing though, but I'm gonna ride over there and pick up my chainsaw and stuff, and I gotta go see if my old semi truck will start up, because it's been parked there since July. Well, I stopped there and I tried to crank my old big truck, and it did turn over, but it just didn't have enough juice in it to really fire up. So I'll bring my jumper cables tomorrow and charge that thing, let it run a while. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that one. Tomorrow I'll be back. It's gonna be a full day of burning, I reckon. So I'll catch y'all on the next ones. Y'all keep your eyes open. I'll see you later.